Hi, my name's Amy. I'm a final year environmental management and sustainability student at Plymouth University and also run the outdoor and sporting goods company Wars and Waves. My dissertation is on extending the life of clothes through consumer engagement, and although my research isn't complete yet, I wanted to share with you what you can do to help minimise the waste from the fashion industry. So many people probably aren't aware that the fashion industry is in fact one of the top polluting industries in the world. Some say the second most polluting industry in the world. Because of how cheaply fast fashion is produced, it's seen as disposable clothing, i.e. cheap enough to be worn a handful of times before being thrown away. A strategy used is planned obsolescence, meaning they make something with the intention of it breaking after a certain amount of uses, and fast fashion is a prime example for that. We're also flooded with advertising trying to sell us something, often something we don't need. Sadly, they often try and sell us something by subconsciously, or sometimes quite bluntly, telling us we'll be happier, more popular, prettier, and so on if we have it. So perceived obsolescence is when a customer is convinced that they need an updated product, even though their existing product is working well. And this is partially the idea behind constantly changing fashion trends. It keeps you coming back for new stuff. All of this has led to millions of tons of textiles to be thrown away and incinerated or landfilled every year, which wastes valuable resources. In the UK alone, approximately 350,000 tons of clothing enters landfills every year. And disposal makes up the most of the waste footprint, so extending the life of clothes would significantly reduce the overall environmental impact of clothing. For example, carbon, water and waste footprints would be reduced by 20 to 30% if the life of clothes was extended by just 9 months. So here are my top tips for you to minimise your clothing waste. Firstly, vote with your wallet and buy less and better. As consumers, we can choose to buy products and support brands that align with our environmental and ethical values. We actually have a big influence on the market by making informed decisions when we buy things. And one of the most powerful things you can do is to simply only buy what you need. I'm sure a lot of us have had moments where we are feeling down, so we've decided some retail therapy might cheer us up. The problem is going shopping to cheer ourselves up, or because we see it as a hobby, or because we want to have the latest fashion, is not only bad for the planet and our wallet, but also for our well-being. Studies have shown that placing less importance on materialistic goals and values improves people's well-being. On the other hand, a decrease in well-being was observed over time when study participants placed more importance on materialistic goals. A further experimental study was also able to detect an increase in self-esteem in people that decreased their materialism. So by choosing to spend your money on a few good quality items that will last for a long time, you stop the endless flow of clothes that will be thrown away after only a few wears. Also, care for your clothes. A lot of clothes get thrown away because they're worn out and don't look nice anymore, but you can get much more life out of them if you follow the care instructions. Most of our clothes can actually be washed cool, i.e. at 30 degrees, and they'll still come out clean and fresh. Also, washing your clothes less often helps. Only wash them when it's necessary, so when they're actually dirty or smell. Most of our clothes nowadays are synthetic and lose a lot of microfibers in the wash. Microfibers are a huge issue as they end up in waterways and the ocean and have even been found in marine life. Eventually, losing all those microfibers will leave your clothes looking worn out, which leads a lot of people to then throw them away. Friction causes a lot of shedding, so don't overload the machine. There's also bags called guppy bags, which you put things in like fleeces, and it not only stops them from shedding as many fibers, but it also stops them from entering the sewage, so stops the fibers from entering the sewage. And finally, hang your clothes to dry rather than using the tumble dryer. And finally, repair, reuse and recycle. The goal is to transition to a circular economy. Essentially what that means is that instead of the linear economy that we currently have of make, use and dispose, we want to design products so that they can be reused or recycled and turned into new products. It's an endless loop. Studies have shown that reusing has a lower environmental impact than recycling, but that both generally reduce clothing's environmental impact compared to landfill or incineration. Repair skills have become rarer, especially amongst young people. People used to repair most of their things, but nowadays often things are so cheap that we just think we may as well buy a new one. but good quality and responsible brands incorporate repairability into their design. For example, Patagonia will not only repair your Patagonia products for you, but also provide online guides on their website for how you repair your gear yourself. Places like Timpson, which you find in loads of towns, do both shoe repairs but also clothing repairs and alterations, so it's easily accessible and their prices are competitive. It's really handy though to know how to do some basic repairs, but if something is a little trickier, it's likely you can find a seamstress, tailor, repair service, or a crafty friend in your area who can help you. Also, buy and sell secondhand. Donate your clothes or give them to a recycling scheme. This is probably something a lot of you already do and know about. Instead of throwing away clothes, you can drop off your clothes at charity shops or use platforms like Facebook Marketplace, Vinted, or Depop to sell your clothes. The same goes for buying clothes. Check out some second-hand options, online or stores, before you buy something new. This week, after having repaired them for years, my jeans finally needed replacing. An organic cotton pair of jeans from a brand I like cost £40 new. I found that exact pair in my size for just £20 on eBay, brand new and from someone who had bought them but they didn't fit. I also found a pair of jeans on Facebook Marketplace that normally cost around £55 for £6 and they'd only been worn 3 times. So before you buy new, check the countless second-hand options and you're bound to find something in a great condition and you'll also save money. But then sometimes clothes are so worn out that you can't really sell them on. So if that's the case, have a look at recycling schemes. Primark recently started an in-store clothing drop-off points and accept any item of clothing, footwear, bags, etc. in any condition and from any brand. So all these items are reused, recycled or repurposed and nothing goes to landfill. So there's a few tips from me. Thanks for listening. I hope that was a nice little reminder of how much you actually can do to help protect the environment. And if you have any questions, send me a message on Instagram or Facebook to Walls and Waves. Thank you.